at it again. Welcome back to Headlight Headlines, your daily automotive news podcast. I'm your host Clayton, and I've got some exciting articles to cover today for the news. But before we get started, make sure to check us out on Twitter at HlightHlines, where we post an update every time a new episode goes live. And also follow us on YouTube. Our channel is Headlight Headlines, where you can always find a video version of this podcast. Got a couple quick stories for you today. Nothing too crazy, but we're going to kick it off with a new Mitsubishi concept. They're saying that this vehicle will be launching in Asia next year, but they're saying that there's a potential that this could be replacing the Outlander Sport that we have here in America that's been around for quite a while. So this could be that replacement eventually. Um, so this is called the XFC concept. You can see right here. It looks very angular and pretty futuristic. And I think for Mitsubishi, it looks like a very nice vehicle. Not that they're a terrible automaker or anything, but this vehicle's pretty luxurious and pretty impressive that they're coming up with something like this. There are a couple like odd things about this vehicle, a couple quirky little things, like these little things right here. I don't really know, but overall it's a pretty cool little SUV. So there's a few pictures we'll look at here in a minute, but they're saying that it has pretty good ground clearance. So a lot of people look for that in SUVs, and it has this like chunky, blocky styling. And it looks like a lot of LEDs. So you can see here those weird little things at the bottom I was talking about earlier. Those are like lights, and they're kind of odd. I'm not really sure what their purpose is. They're on the back too, so I'm not really sure what the purpose is. They got no mirrors but cameras on the side, which is pretty cool. And look at this interior. Crazy. It is interesting to note. It's kind of going, you can see this like hexagonal pattern on a lot of stuff. All of these like haptic buttons, they're not like actual buttons, they're those touch sensitive ones. Very interesting. That's pretty Mitsubishi. Like that's not like super high tech or anything, so that's something I could see from them. They got two screens in the middle. I mean, literally I don't know what I'm looking at here. Why? These seats, they look comfy, I can't lie. They look pretty cool, to be honest. But why are they mustard yellow? That I don't understand. Very interesting car here from Mitsubishi. They're saying it has 4 dry modes: normal, wet, gravel, mud. Nothing too crazy. They're saying obviously it's a concept and a lot of things will change before it actually comes out. They didn't say when it will come out, but they're thinking 2023 or 2024 basically. So it's coming to Southeast Asian nations, because in Europe they're getting the ASX, which is a rebadged Renault. So pretty cool little concept car from Mitsubishi. Very impressive, to be honest. Besides the mustard yellow seats and the weird hexagon lights on the front, I think it's a pretty cool car. Next up, we have a very interesting option you can get from Dodge now on these last Challengers that are coming out. So there's basically like a rainbow Challenger that you can buy. So we've talked a lot about how they've had the special edition Dodge last call models for the Challenger and the Charger, and now they have an even crazier wrap that you can buy, and it takes all 14 of the colors that you can get the Challenger in and puts them all together in just lines. Like somebody really was in a big meeting with all these big Dodge people, and they said, what if we made a rainbow car? And they were like, yes. And I'm like, why? $3,700 for the wrap, and that's not even with it being installed. That's just for the wrap itself. And they want you to do it by 3M specialists because it's 3M wrap. Very, very weird. Very, very weird. I know some people are about to get this. I know some people are about to get this wrap. And they're going to be looking ridiculous driving around with it. But hey, you can do whatever you want. But you're going to look a little goofy if you got a 14 color wrap all over your car. If you are not watching this on video and you're just listening to me, please look this up. Because you may not even believe me until you see it. It's literally all the colors just in rows across the car. All 14. And like all of them. They got Plum Crazy, they got Frostbite, they got B5 Blue, they got Sublime, they got F8 Green, they got Go Mango, they got Cinnamon Stick, which is whatever, Octane Red, Tour Red, Triple Nickel, Destroyer Gray, Granite, and White Knuckle. They got the weirdest names for their colors. They said Cinnamon Stick with the letter S, but oh well. Buy this if you want to waste $3,700 and then some more for install. Goofy. This is so goofy. Alright. I can't believe this. It's ridiculous. Moving on. This came out yesterday. The GMC Sierra EV. Really cool to see. So the Chevy Silverado EV was announced a while ago. Like a couple months ago. And it wasn't terrible. It was a little controversial on the look side, I think. But I think this GMC Sierra EV looks way better. It might just be me because I'm biased and I like GMC better. But I think it looks real good. I think the front end looks good, which they kind of screwed up on the Chevy. And the rest is kind of the same, to be honest. They're saying they will have the Denali Edition 1, 754 horsepower, and apparently a 400-mile range, which would be insane. They're saying it'll be $108,000 on sale in early 2024, and there'll be less expensive models the following year. I think it's really cool, and it looks big. It looks like a beast. They're saying 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, which is crazy. Crazy. Charge port on the bed. Interesting, but I kind of like it. I just really like the styling on it. Like, they really screwed up the Chevy compared to this. They have the crab walk, same as the Hummer EV. It's very similar to the Hummer EV. Sounds like, dang, whoa. You can literally put down like the back wall. That's crazy. 5'11" cargo bed, which I like. 6 foot basically. Fold away wall. Yeah, they had this on the Chevy Avalanche. I remember that. That's crazy. 9 feet of space. 11 feet with the tailgate down. I love that. I want to see someone driving around with their truck with the tailgate up, but this thing open, just 'cause it'd be cool. Really big screen in the middle. Very reminiscent of the Ford screen with the knob in the middle. Not really the biggest fan, but okay. It works. They have real wood and metal trim. I like how clean the interior is. Obviously it's a Denali, it's fancy. We do know that they'll have an AT4 model, which that I really want to see. And the elevation that'll start around 52,000. I like that. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I definitely would consider getting one of these. I like it. And then another story from GM about electric vehicles, about trucks, similar to the Hummer, saying that they may, this is all questionable, they may make a mid-sized Hummer EV truck, which I think would be really cool. They talk a lot in this article about the H3T, which is a truck that I love. I love it and I get hate for it. But I think it would be really cool if they made a smaller version of the Hummer EV, because the Hummer EV is so expensive, and obviously that's kind of how Hummer always has been, like expensive SUVs. But I think this is just kind of to another level. And Hummer was so popular in the early 2000s. Like when the H3 was out, it was such a popular vehicle. Even the crappy H2 was really, really popular. And $110,000 is just quite a lot for a vehicle. So this right here is the H3T. You can see it kind of has some resemblance to the Hummer EV that we have now. But the H3T was made in the early 2000s. I want to say 2009 and on, but I could be wrong. To the 09 to 12, but I could be wrong. It could be 07 to 12. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. The H3T was built on the Chevy Colorado GMC Canyon chassis. I know a lot about these because I have one of those. So the interior is like those two trucks, but the exterior is what gets it. It's way more off-road capable. It has bigger tires, and it just looks cool. They have a V8 option of it. It was really cool. And if they brought something like that with that similar styling, obviously the current Colorado and Canyon are a lot bigger than this H3T, but if they could like have an updated version of that with the new like sizing, I think that'd be really cool. And I think with the new generation of Colorado and Canyon coming out next year, that is a very pretty good possibility that they could use that chassis, the motor, stuff like that for, well, obviously it's electric, it won't have the motor, for that vehicle. I think it's a cool possibility, and I would like to see it happen, if possible. Let me know your thoughts on a smaller Hummer EV. And with that, that'll be it for the video today. Let me know what you think about the articles we talked about. Let me know on Twitter at HLines. Send me a tweet. We can talk about it. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube. Our channel is Headlight Headlines, where you can always find a video version of this podcast. And with that being said, have a safe weekend. Be cool out there. And I'll see y'all in the next episode.